Hey guys, welcome back to another Your Week with Jon W. News that's so fresh it makes Shapiro moist. So celebrating Red Shirt Day, Xi Jinping was reelected for the third time in China, while officials say that there was no tampering with elections, considering that the Communist Party owns the entirety of everything in China. There's no reason to believe otherwise. Liz Truss, the former British Prime Minister, just recently stepped down. She was in a head-to-head battle against lettuce. There's actually a group of individuals that got together and said that it would be cool if they just live streamed lettuce to see how long it would last versus her staying in office. 45 days later, lettuce won. I'm just wondering, how in the shit do they keep lettuce for longer than 2 weeks and then not go bad? That's the real question here. Dietrich Mateschitz passed this week at the ripe old age of 78. He was responsible for co-founding Red Bull as well as Red Bull Racing and for most of the bad decisions I made in my early and mid-20s. Hope that all of your work throughout the years was able to give you wings as you carry on. So one of my more favorite stories from Aesop, the sun and the wind. The sun and the wind were talking as to who was the stronger of the two. And they saw a traveler who was wearing a cloak. And the wind said, tell you what, the first one to get the traveler to take off the cloak is the strongest. Sun said, sure, you can go first. So the wind proceeded to blow and howl and gale and really just push on the traveler to knock the cloak off. And the harder the wind tried, the harder it blew, the more that it just assaulted this poor guy, the tighter he clung to his cloak. Held it, and just for dear life, finally, after some time, the wind gave up and said, fine, sun, see what you can do. And the sun said, okay. And the sun began to brighten and warm and just make for a very pleasant and exceedingly hot day. And afterwards, the traveler just immediately was hot, took off the cloak to enjoy the warm weather. The moral of the story is sometimes, there's a lot of force that you can put into any kind of action or activity trying to get someone to acquiesce to your will or what you would like to see done. But more often than not, having a pleasant and kind approach is really going to help you succeed in getting your goals accomplished. So, great takeaway, good story. All right. I know why scammers are still a thing, but why in the shit are scammers still a thing? We have tons of ways to block robocalls or emails, anything like this crap. And I have no idea why in the world there's still just such a volume of this bullshit that goes through and is actually able to get to end users with a fairly high success rate. Being in IT for a number of years, we're constantly asked, how to better ensure that our practices and procedures don't allow things like phishing to occur. And it's something that you take as second nature when you're in the industry, but there's a lot of people who are in fact not in IT, and these are the people that are targeted, and you have to be careful. So, it's something for people in other countries where, US jurisdiction doesn't matter, but they'll go and, if they reach out to 1,000 people in a week and only 1% get scammed for, 500, maybe a couple $1,000 or so, it's still going to be enough for them to survive for weeks, months, or longer in their country. So I see why they do it, but I still think it's a bunch of horse shit. If you guys have been scammed, or if you have any suggestions, tips, or tricks that you'd like to add, please leave a comment below and we'll discuss. Thanks. So today's special guest is probably one of my favorites. It's you. Today, I really wanted to reflect on the fact that there's a lot of people with a lot of stories that I've been speaking to for the past, years and years, who want to be able to come on to a show, a platform, share, and be able to express their ideas, their hopes, their fears, their ingenuity, anything that they can provide. A lot of musical talent for some of my friends. I carry none of that, but still being able to have individuals on the show that you can display, showcase anything that you're passionate about. Love to have you on the show. Looking forward to it. If you've got something that you'd like to see me put here on your week, please reach out, leave a comment below, and let me know. We'll get you on here. and you can be the best part of your week. Finally, for the good stuff, other people's fears are not yours to own. A lot of people have, I want to say, good faith advice that says, hey, you don't want to do this, it's going to cause you pain. You don't want to do this, it's going to cause you frustration. And I think that it's the avoidance of pain and frustration and the fear of loss that really gets people to give advice to, take the safe route. But you can't always take the safe route. The road less traveled often leads to some brilliant and wonderful places. So when other people come to you with, understandably sometimes, fears and recommendations and suggestions, you shouldn't just take them at face value as oh, that's garbage, or oh, that's great. But you also have to remember, live your own life. Make sure that when someone comes to you, that you listen to them if the advice is worth listening to, and incorporate that in your approach to how you may do something or may not do something. But just because they're afraid of something doesn't mean you need to be afraid of it. If you want to pursue it, ain't nothing to it but to do it. So best of luck with whatever you're trying to do. And again, don't let other people allow you to be discouraged from something that you believe and know that it'll be great. Guys, thank you so much for being a part of your week. Looking forward to the comments, specifically just trying to see what you guys are really vibing or preferably not vibing. A lot of negative feedback is actually very positive to make sure that it's the show that's really being developed for something that you guys are interested in and listening to and hopefully enjoy. But take care and hope you have a great rest of your week.